Welcoming our existing family and the soon to be to our channel Awesomazing Life, Journey or Destination. Thank you for helping us cross 100 subscribers. Today I would like to talk about parenting, what makes us worthy of parenthood, and also share my experience as a parent. When someone asks me what is parenting or what were the factors for good parenting, I'm often found guessing. This is not because I'm unaware of it, but because if there is one thing that is very apparent after 20 years of parenting and bringing up two lovely daughters is that there are lots of right ways of bringing up your kids. There is no one single way to good parenting. I know families who have done things completely different from how I would do, and their kids are very happy and well adjusted. Even between both my daughters, I have quite different approach. The experience taught me a few things, I guess. Interestingly, both grew up to be fine ladies in their own respective ways. Parenting is both a science and an art at the same time. While the science of parenting means the intricacies of raising a child, the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood, which is easy. It is the art of delivering it that often causes anxiety. In my opinion, if just a few essentials of parenting are well taken care of, the rest of it can be freestyle and the results will be just fine. It's all about feeling loved and safe. A child who gets love and safety right will have an amazingly great childhood, despite many mistakes that we might do as parents. In today's world, most of the parents, both the parents are working. Make it a ritual to spend time with your child when you reach home. It doesn't matter how much time, but when you are with them, you are with them. You're not on phone, not checking your messages, not taking calls. You give them your undivided attention. Ask about how was their day, what did they learn, anything new that happened in school or in daycare, anything happened which they liked, they didn't like, what did they eat, and such questions. Be involved in the discussion. Me and my spouse had this unsaid rule. Once we reached home from office, we would exchange our day's events. Share your day with your child. This creates a bond within the family. Both my daughters can talk about anything and everything with me and my spouse. In fact, because of this openness, I have learned so many things from them. Many a times, they can talk about things that they feel we should improve on, and we are open to that feedback. Have family time. Play board games. Until they bond with you and trust you and have complete confidence in you, they will not open up when they have something serious to talk about or if they are, being bothered about something. They need to feel safe. They need to know that you are there to watch their back even when things are going south. They will tell you everything even when they are in a huge mess. But you need to build that kind of a confidence first. Developing the emotional connect between you and your child gives your child the best start in life. The strength of this feeling has an enormous impact on your child's future mental, physical, social and emotional health, and is in fact the main influencer of how well the child will be in life. Interestingly, this too has its root in the feeling of being loved. Most of the families today are nuclear families. Usually there are 1 or 2 kids in the family. Many a times in an attempt to make it perfect for the child, we get into overparenting and sometimes even start driving their lives and end up causing more harm than the support in the long run of our child. Most parents have good intentions, but sometimes parents unknowingly get into overparenting. Not everything that a parent does is in the best interest of the child. Overparenting, for one, can cripple children as they move into adulthood and find themselves unable to cope with nearest of the setbacks without somebody supporting them emotionally or otherwise. Two well-known examples of overparenting style includes helicopter parenting referring to monitoring the child and keeping them out of the harm's way. And snow plowing parenting, where the potential obstacles are removed from the child's path. Both can negatively impact a child later, in terms of being independent, mental health, and self-esteem. Involve them in certain family decisions. Trust me, they are very creative and they can come up with solutions you have not even thought about. Get them to take small responsibilities, like they should carry their bags while you are traveling. Give them small chores like dusting and cleaning their rooms, organizing their rooms and their closets. Every time they do something good, appreciate their effort. Ask them to help you in your house or household chores as well. If you do everything for them when they are small, then one day when they grow up and you expect them to get organized and be responsible, it's not going to happen. Habits take time to form. I can think of a situation when my elder daughter was 4 months old. We took her for her regular checkup and vaccination. The doctor advised that we should start with giving her water and semi-solid food. I asked the doctor that should I mix some sugar to taste in the water. The doctor simply said that, am I willing to do this for the rest of her life? She will never develop the simple taste of water if we don't help her develop that taste in her infancy. And then later, I would be forcing her to change. We as parents may do certain things thinking of the best interest of a child, sometimes for ease as well, not understanding the implication. But then, who said parenting was easy? Lack of parental engagement can often lead to poor behavioral outcome in a child. This may be in part because it encourages the young to be too reliant on their peer culture. Ironically, over harsh or authoritarian style of parenting can also have the same effect. It is okay for you to give them some space, but as a parent, you need to know where they are, who are they associating with, who are their friends. I would like to share a couple of incidences which give me a lot of insight about things that influence children consciously and subconsciously. My elder daughter, when she was in grade 1, all of a sudden there was a change in the curriculum, in how the school was until she was in the pre-primary. There was a lot of written work, many sheets to write, and she would just not finish her work on school. It caused a great concern to both me and my spouse. We did everything in our power to get her to understand and start writing, but nothing really worked. We decided to talk to her teacher and to her headmistress, and when we spoke to her headmistress, she said, just give me a week, she will be back on track. And to our surprise, things started to improve. We really wanted to know, what was the magic that she did. And when we asked her, she simply said that, I know what your daughter likes. She likes to go for her dance class. So I only told her that she can go for her dance class only when she completes her work. Sometimes we as parents take the route of harsh punishments, scolding, to discipline our child. But all you need to really do is know what is their priority and motivate them with positivity. Affirm yourself with positive sentences. And logic works with most of the kids. They need to know why they need to do something. My younger one was absolutely different from the older one. She didn't speak a word until she was more than 2 years old. One day we were visiting my elder daughter's school and she was there with us. The principal started to ask her some questions, but she would just not speak. So we shared the concern with him and he advised us that we should start her in nursery right after the Diwali vacations. And to our surprise, within a few weeks, she started to say words. And within a few months, form complete sentences. And what was really happening? What really happened here? While she was at home, she could get by without actually speaking. She could use her gestures and we would respond to her. And she could get by the day. But in school, she had to communicate to her teacher. and to her peers, and which enabled her to speak. Sometimes you need to get them out of their comfort zone for them to learn. Get them to explore as many activities, when they are young. It will help them and you to identify what are their talents, their strengths, their interests, which will go a long way in shaping their core personality. Ultimately, parents should strive to be loving but firm, while allowing children enough space to develop their own interest, explore independence, experience failure, guard against projecting your own fears, insecurities, and past experience on your child. Create an environment for your child that is dependable, trustworthy, and loving. Love them, express that through actions. Give a hug once in a while. Tell them you love them. As parents, your love towards your children should be unconditional. Observe your child. If there is any change in behavior, make sure you can start a dialogue. Make the child comfortable enough to speak openly. Don't dismiss the child if they don't want to share about their feelings. While discipline is necessary, but be sure that the goal of discipline is to help your child choose acceptable behavior and learn self-control. Set limits and be consistent with it. Help develop their self-esteem by positive sentences. Appreciation of every good deed and behavior. Remember, we all work for appreciation and encouragement. In this competitive world, a child needs to accept failure, not as a setback, but as a learning process. Help them embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. Do you remember the phrase, do unto others as you want others to do unto you? Your child is observing you at all times. Their core behavior and value system is transmitted from what you do. We cannot preach something and do exactly the opposite. So, it is important to be a role model and set the right examples to them. For example, don't jump a signal and ask your child to follow traffic rules. It's as simple as that. There are no perfect parents and it is not going to be easy. Remember, it is a learning process for you as well. As a parent, each one of us are bound to make mistakes. We need to learn from them, make the most out of it. Most of all, in today's world, more than a parent, your child really needs a friend. Be open-minded and remember, unconditional love. So, if you like this video, please comment, share and press the like button. Oh, also do subscribe. Until next time, thank you very much.